Hey Transformers fans, how's it going? Wanted to put together this recap of my experiences at TFCON Toronto 2018 last weekend in Mississauga. As always, was a great show, had a lot of fun. The dealer room, as you can see, kind of a sweep here, was great as always. Lots of great experiences, lots of great people, lots of laughs, and some really awesome stuff on display. One thing that I will say about the show floor this year is that it seemed much more heavily oriented towards third-party figures, and masterpiece figures were really sort of the two most prominent things that you'd see on display there. There was a little bit of other lines, older generations, Beast Wars, all that other, some G1 stuff, but it wasn't as I guess it wasn't as diverse as previous years. That being said, the products on display were great. Lots of cool vendors there with a pretty wide selection of stuff. There was only a couple things that I think my buddy Dave was looking for that he couldn't find, but for the most part we did well in checking off our lists. As you can see, though, plenty of masterpiece on display. The official vendors like Aegis 3 and Up and TF Source and all those other guys had tons of product on display, so certainly nothing disappointing there. But one thing that we did notice, specifically, here's my buddy Dave doing a dive through one of the bins of older loose figures, is there wasn't nearly as much of that as there has been in years past. So if you were looking for, inexpensive older figures, there wasn't a lot of that. Chosen Prime always has a great booth. Their display is pretty awesome. Wonderful figures on display. To see some of the magnificent work that's coming out from a lot of these companies. All kinds of figures on display, everything from the official masterpiece lines, some of the stuff that's been newly released and whatnot, to prototypes of upcoming third-party figures, lots of stuff from Make Toys and Fans Toys and all of the sort of the bigger, most well-known third-party manufacturers. They all had quite a bit of stuff on display. But yeah, their displays are always top-notch. Got a little close-up shot of that Fans Toys RC, which is awesome. That's such a cool looking figure. Certainly considering picking that up for my collection in light of the fact that we don't know if we're going to get one from Hasbro anytime soon. But the official MP display looked really cool. They had all the Seekers. They had that cool third-party Teletran 1 mixed in there too. And then the third-party movie Last Night Optimus Prime, that was a pretty imposing figure. Looked great. This prototype from Maz Toys looks so good. I'm so happy that at the end of the show, the funding, the GoFundMe or the Kickstarter, whatever they had going on, was fully funded by the end of that show. So that was awesome to see that. Cool third-party Megatron throne. That's neat for your display. Awesome looking Galvatron that's coming up from another company, another third party. That looks really good. Lots of prototypes, like I said. Stuff that's coming up soon, including this awesome looking Skylynx. Don't see a lot of third-party Skylynxes, so it's kind of neat. My buddy Dave thought that was pretty awesome, and it does look really, really good. So we'll see what that looks like in the future. The new Fans Toys Hoodlum, which is their version of Masterpiece Hot Rod, is coming up, and I gotta say, it looks awesome. It looks better to me than the official new or the more recent Hot Rod, so that looks really cool. I look forward to that. And then other ones too. There's that kind of beat up, battle damaged Optimus Prime, and then the show exclusive G1 deco of the Make Toys Jazz mold was really neat looking, so a lot of people picked that up because of its cool look. This was a neat diorama that was on display. Somebody had obviously put a lot of work into this. it was huge, but it looked awesome. So many figures jammed in there, and the display was really cool, so I had to take a shot of that. As far as the customs contest, goes, the trophies there, they looked really cool, as they always do, but there wasn't as much stuff submitted for the competition as I've seen in years past, but there was still some really neat stuff. I was happy to have participated in it. This is my custom Studio Series Megatron that I've done a video on and talked about before, but I was happy to get it there, got a lot of compliments on it, so that felt pretty good. Didn't win anything, but that's fine. Some of the other figures, though, were really impressive. This Macross version of Generations Jetfire was just magnificent. Somebody had obviously spent a lot of work, a lot of time on this to make it look so good, and it just looked fantastic. So that was really cool to see. Somebody also spent an awful lot of time scratch building this Autobot X with true masterpiece style packaging and everything. It was a big figure, it looked cool, and certainly not something that you see every day, so that was amazing to see too. One of the other ones that I thought was really cool was this little Rack and Ruin. You know, very cool use of these two figures to put together for that character. That looked really awesome as well. So that was neat to see. The people again were awesome. You know, they always are. I mean, I got to meet Goober again. This guy's hilarious. He's always at the show, having a good time, making people laugh. So that was pretty neat to see Goober. And other people were just great too. I mean, the costumes that you saw there was fantastic. These guys are at Transformers Kids on Instagram. You got to check them out. The family is super nice. The dad's a great guy. The kids are having fun, and the costumes are fantastic. So definitely check them out. Speaking of costumes, there were lots on display. This Ratchet was cool. Perceptor was awesome. People spent a lot of time and a lot of effort putting these costumes together, and they really looked cool. There's my buddy Dave with Perceptor and Rung. A lot of work went into those costumes, and everybody was having a good time taking pictures. So the costume contest is always one of the highlights of the show. It's pretty fun to see what people come up with. The kids were hilarious. I mean, there's two here. This little Grimlock was wagging his tail and roaring at people through the show. That was amazing. He was having a good time. Windblade looked really cool. So the kids definitely had a blast, you could tell. And there's Transformers Kids again. Yeah, like I said, check them out on Instagram. They've got some great photos. But these two Seeker costumes are just unreal. I mean, kudos to the dad for putting these together, because they look amazing. It's super cool. These kind of etched plexiglass, like desk lights and shelf lights, were really neat. Never seen anything like them at the show before, so it was kind of neat to see something unusual like that, because they look awesome. And then the voice actor panel, as always, was cool. The stories from the G1 series about what it was like, meeting the guy who played Daniel in the '86 movie was cool. Voice actor panels are always fun, so check them out. And my haul this year was just two figures. I got X-Trans Bots Toro, which is their MP Jazz, and MP Cliff Jumper, and I got MP Jazz, or Studio Series Jazz, because I just wanted those two figures. So I appreciate you tuning in for my recap of TFCON 2018. Thanks very much for watching. And yeah, we will definitely see you again next year at the show. Don't miss it. Talk to you soon.